aspect of the course I enjoyed most, the social protection flow. That was excellent. I didn't know much about it. It is something that actually would be very useful to all workers at all levels. That is the best I enjoyed most. And of course the networking, the meeting, the entire Labor Migration Academy, very informative.
What I like is all the people who were there. Like it was so rich, so nice, so much of joy all over. So what I liked the most was the people, and also the teachers who were really, really nice, and we shared a lot.
I really enjoyed the way that we had very diversified resource persons coming from different countries, different areas, and with different type of experience. And the other aspects for as far as the participants are concerned is that we have a very diversified group, but the diversified group was our strength. We exchanged a lot, and it allowed us both to be really regular in the course, enjoy the course, and begin a comparative international perspective of it.
Well, the technical part of it, getting into the details of statistics and hearing from experts all over the world through video conference systems, you know, what are the tendencies and how statistics and the migration module is introduced into this household service. That was really interesting, and it's something that definitely going to apply in my job.
I enjoyed the course because I have got more experience of what I didn't know. I've got to know them during the course.
The fact that it was like 30 people coming from 30 different countries, so you can share your experiences, share best practices and also worst practices, and that was very interesting and enriching.
Actually, I find the completely and good preparing for the course, it's a good thing. For me, I am in training. I have more experience in this issue.
Of course, it is protection cluster. In general, everything was very good, but the most interested I am in is protection of migrant workers.
I think I really liked the group work. The group work was actually pretty fun. I was kind of hesitant because I didn't know how it would pan out, and it can get kind of chaotic, but I liked it. It was good.
Well, the spectacular event, spectacular atmosphere.
I'm really happy with enjoy the group discussions.
The idea that as participants we were able to share among ourselves and with resource persons several components of international migration, ranging from challenges and dilemmas faced by high-sending countries and also emerging sending countries, to issues of protection and issues about bilateral and multilateral labor agreements. So it was nice to be sharing those kind of experiences. And at the end of the day, what we discovered is that migration, international migration, is composed of various forces: political, economic, social, and developmental. So it is the current agenda, the global agenda, which we should be focusing on.
The part of protection on migrant workers, which interests me much and is going to be useful for my own organization in order to give these people protection, security, social securities, and also provide good information for them.
I love the lectures the most, especially the theoretical ones and those that are telling us of new trends and challenges for labor migration and the ways by which the conditions can be improved. I also like the exercises. Some of them really made us think and be more practical rather than theoretical. They address the particular concerns in our own countries, but also in comparison with the situations in other countries.
I love the cluster classes. You know, I studied. I was with a group of governors and it was so interesting. The presentations, the kind of experts that came were so seasoned. You know, I never really knew anything about bilateral agreements, negotiations, but then with this course, in fact, it gave me, it was a real-time experience. You know, I really enjoyed the classes, and then not only that, but then the social dialogue thing, because I came here without knowing anything about the social dialogue, but then now I know, you know. So, well, I love the part, governance, it was so perfect.
Almost all the clusters have a different their aspects, but personally my development cluster, what I found is that there are different migrant related organizations, so like ILO, IOM or MGM. So these different organizations, how they function in an international global platform. So that I learned, I understood some mechanism, so that it helped me to work in my one ground, in my national level. So that was my, let's say that was the aspect that I achieved from this training.
The aspect that I enjoyed the most was sharing experiences with other people. We have a very diverse group from almost every continent except for Australia. However, it was really interesting to see, you know, perspectives of other people from around the world. And yeah, I think that was the most enriching experience about the program.
Yes, from the trade union perspective, all the information I'm going to get, I'm going to write a report and give it back to our union, to the Public Services International, which co-sponsored me here, and also to the union and the workers in my country. This is very important information. They need to know, they need to come here and learn much more of what is going on. I also realized there are very many courses here, which would be very useful to us.
You need to apply for the next course, so I would tell my colleagues to come and live this real experience. And I will try to resume by saying that it was really, really awesome.
I would like to share the content, the strategies, and the information through different channels. One, we have within the project, we have a committee of follow-up of the project. And then I will share the different ideas, but I will share mainly one thing which is very important, the new ideas that have emerged from governance questions, because the name of my project is Good Governance of Labor Migration and its links with development Senegal, Mali, Mauritania. Okay, the second one, I'll elaborate a report and I'll make some recommendations for the projects and for the Bureau. The third one is we have one meeting at the end of July, and we will have 2 other meetings, and I think I'm going to organize different experience sharing with the different participants in this place.
I'm gonna share it with the people in my office back in Nicaragua, that's for sure, and all the publications that were shared and you know, the conventions that are applicable to migrant workers, but also most definitely I'm going to use some of the presentations of my ILO colleagues as well, and I'm going to translate them into Spanish and use them, you know, to have a real institutional approach to it.
The experience I've got when I had a problem, I can handle it because I've got the knowledge of what happened during the course.
I will be asked to evaluate some projects, probably, that we will receive in the framework of a call for proposal, and I think that I will be more effective during my evaluation since I've learned many new things about migration.
Especially in this course, it's focus more about the legislations and the development which joint between migration and needed of in the country. I take more knowledge about this issue. Sure, I will translate to my organization. I'm from trade union. I will use this knowledge to protect the rights for the migrant workers in my sector.
The knowledge which I got in protection cluster, I will definitely put into the work of my organization, which does research on social protection of Kyrgyz labor migrant workers.
Well, I kind of work for the same organization that you work for. I mean, the ILO in Geneva. Yeah, I mean, I was in development cluster, and I joined it explicitly because I didn't know much about the development aspect of migration, as awful as that sounds. So yeah, a lot of the economic principles, I suppose, and the economic side of the phenomenon will feature a lot more in the stuff I do back at the ILO.
Sharing and speaking, talk to my colleague every day about this experience, so that can deeply understand more and more.
Talk to my colleagues or report to my boss.
There are three things. First, I have to come up with a report which I will present to my colleagues and my superiors. Then the second thing is, in our case in Zimbabwe, we are in the process of coming up with the labor migration policy framework. So the knowledge which I gained from sharing experience and learning from the resource spaces, it will be very vital to the finalization of our national labor migration policy. We are also going to improve on the mechanism which we are going to use to facilitate labor migration between ourselves, Zimbabwe and South Africa, especially in the area of agriculture, where Zimbabweans want to work in South African commercial farms. We want it to be a demand-driven, legal and safe labor migration process.
I'm thinking of transmitting this in the way of joining hands together with other organizations by networking and joining the trade unions and other organizations to make sure that even my country of origin is part of the conventions, especially the Convention 97 and Convention 118 that give securities to labor migrants.
I'm part of an organization that promotes financial literacy among workers' families back home, but also with groups of workers, unions especially. And we maintain a website, we do write-ups, we conduct trainings, and we interact with legislators and policymakers. There's just too many of them to mention, but overall I think we can address the general conditions of migrant work, especially those in abusive conditions.
I work with the migration unit. We have to do with coordinating the institutions that have to do with migration. And with what I learned from here, coordination between the various institutions, I just have to go back, perhaps write a memorandum to the chief director, to the minister, just to reorganize our activities there. We are coming out with a migration policy, and I believe with the knowledge that I've gotten here, I'll just put my things across, my knowledge, my skills that I've gotten from it, and share experiences from a lot of countries, Sri Lanka, Philippines, and so I am really loaded to help with the migration policy in the implementation as well. Not only that, but including the labor migration policies.
I'm a trade unionist, so I have a very limited area to work. As you know that, so there are different social partners, so trade union has their own area to work. As a trade unionist, I have seen potentiality to work on the issues of migrants, because migrants means labor. Without the labor related with the migrants, it is incomplete. So what we have found that migration occurs with the labor. So policy making, advocacy, campaign, awareness, education, all these are the areas that as a trade union I can work well in these issues, so that in long term migrants can be part of trade union, migrants can be a member of trade union. So that's how the trade union movement also is strengthened in some level. So as well as to facilitate their living standards, to facilitate their work improvements. So these are the areas, potential areas that I have found in this course.
In the program that I work for in Yemen, with the ILO, in a program called Labor Market Information and Analysis, we have this component called TOT, Training of Trainers. So whatever I acquired here, whatever knowledge I acquired here, I'll reflect back in the Ministry of Social Affairs and Labour. So I'll have to translate everything in Arabic and reflect it back to my colleagues there. So it's a building the capacity for Ministry of Social Affairs and Labour.
Excellent, and my good people got enough information that I really needed, so much that I didn't expect. And I look forward also to participating in more courses in Torino, this center. The coordinators were excellent, participants good, networking great.
Kindness, something rich, powerful and superful.
Participatory, diversity, and open-mindedness.
Warm, I would say, it was a very warm stay here, very welcome. Fantastic city and wonderful ice cream.
In all, I'm happy to know all this, what is happening in the city.
Enriching, formative, and funny.
First, I take a lot of friendship from here. Our large course and participants from different destinations, it's give me more friends. And there's exciting area, Turin, a green area, it's and healthy place. Also, a lot of knowledge. It's more important in my position and my job.
Labor migration, protection and sightseeing.
Delicious, first of all. Fascinating and challenging.
Spectacular, fantastic place.
I'm very happy and feel like my family.
Turin is fantastic. People are very hospitable and the climate's good.
Don't discriminate, the rights and good practice.
Scholarship, training, of course, occasion to meet new people.
It's been so enjoying. I mean, the pleasure has been good. The environment, there are a lot of the friendly nature of the participants and everybody. And then lastly, I would say that it's very educative.
That's reservation wage and circular migration and triple win.
My first word is enriching in terms of knowledge. I've gained a lot of knowledge. The second word is beautiful city. I really enjoyed the stay here. Third word is nice people. Italians are very, very nice people and welcoming people. I really enjoyed my stay here, both educationally and socially.